there, I am Chris Palmer. In this video, I want to share with you a recent podcast that I just did with Local Marketing Secrets.
Now, without further ado, Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Of course, man. And now you were just explaining your whole SEO model. I guess I'd call it an SEO company where you have a coaching group, you have direct clients, you do white labeling, you sell direct services. So it seems like you basically do all of it. What are you focused on right now? What do you think people should be putting their time towards in local SEO?
Well, just like the agency, I think there's multiple flows. A business owner needs to make sure that they're visible in as many places as possible. So we're leaning more towards advertising, paying Caesar what's Caesar's. I think that's very important. So advertising, whether that's Guarantee, Maps, also many other social platforms. So it could be Meta, it could be Reddit, it could be X is hot right now. It just depends on the business and the business model. So ads. But alongside of that, we also want to be visible within Maps, obviously, and then organic. I'm steering clear of shiny object. Everyone's trying to flip the new thing, which is really just a new way of selling the same old thing. You know, similarity-based search is not new. They just have different places. They're just testing new things out right now. So we're just focused on ads and pumping and showing up in as much places as possible.
Local SEO strategy, or really you could just say local search, local marketing. Do you think it's now required to advertise along with SEO? Is SEO not enough?
It was never enough. As an SEO, we always wanted to start there. And of course, forward-facing, you're always, SEO, because it's good to get free traffic. But just SEO is never enough. That's why Maps, social, ads is definitely... The goal here is I want to be seen if there's only so much real estate at the top. And Google has given us the ability, the opportunity to have guarantee, ads, maps, and organic. Well, those are the places we want to show up. When a customer or a potential customer is on their phone or they're searching down their device, yeah, they might see those new AI overviews or whatnot, but they're not going to miss the ad. They're not going to miss Maps if it's a local search there. And then if they scroll down and they see it again, that's a lay down. That's a slam dunk. And that's what we push for. I'm sure you do too, right?
Yeah. So you're saying that, just to be clear, every element of search you should be doing: local service ads, Google ads, your website, Google Business Profile, all those. Would you say any of those are the most important or biggest drivers?
Ads is, if not every business has the dollars right now, but ads is probably one, Maps is two, and then organic. Ads will always, because I can make money today, right? Like I don't need to put, it's not putting my eggs in a basket and then, right? It's not hurry up and wait like SEO. Even Maps is hurry up and wait, but the time frame is shorter. So I can rank Maps depending on the niche relatively quickly. I can start getting phone calls, plus we could scale Maps, right? We can have service-based businesses. I call it lures in the water. I can create multiple businesses all over the place. We want to go north, east, southwest in a county or an area, so that way no matter where the visitor is, they're going to see my brand on Maps. But we want to hit ads too. Does that answer?
Yeah. No, I like that you're being so honest about it, because I feel like most local SEO people kind of just bucket themselves in only local SEO, and it's always from that frame. But I agree with you. I'm glad you covered that, because it's not so simple as like just do SEO a certain way. There are actually sometimes better things to do than SEO.
Well, depending on the stage. And you said it right there. I need money. Nothing cures a business and will have you thinking about more ways to get more money than making money, right?
Yeah.
The first goal is to get customers in the door. Make sure they're happy, do a good service, they'll tell the friend, and then keep pumping ads. Get people rolling through. And then we can say, okay, hey, let's do a social media campaign. Okay, that's success, we're making money. Okay, let's invest into our site now. Okay, let's invest in design. Yeah, I'm with you, I agree.
So for local businesses then, when do you think it makes sense to start really investing in SEO?
Well, it's all search engine optimization other than the ads. As soon as you have the budget. If you have the budget, and then two markets are different. Like, what are you in a big city? Are you in a small city? Like, are you going to be able to reach success with less than 10% of your yearly profit? Well, then let's start today. I think as soon as you have the budget, you have the time, the resources, and you have the manpower to actually fulfill the promise, that's when. Because some people can't even take all the clients. You know, they're
Yeah.
not ready for it. They're simply not ready.
Yeah,
So yeah,
definitely.
as soon as you can.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I wanted to jump into Google Business Profile stuff more. You've mentioned it twice now of like getting several locations and how you can do that. And I think you'd agree that Google Business Profile stuff is much easier than website stuff, and it usually moves the needle more. You don't agree?
Faster.
Okay.
Website's a cakewalk. Now, we're not talking LA, Houston, Phoenix, New York City. But for 99% of the businesses that come through pest control in a town or a city 50,000 or less, 100,000 or less, light work. Because most people are still they're seeing the winners that are resting on laurels of yesterday, like 2011 SEO, and they're setting up assets in that manner. But that's not what it takes to reach success quickly. So if it's a small city website, we can get cranking very quickly. But the
Okay.
Maps is right behind it. It's free. So
Okay. So
yeah,
let's
they go
dive into that then. What are you doing on the website to generate leads for local business?
any service that you provide in every location that you provide, and then we have to get in the top 3 positions, right? So that's step number 1. The next element is most people are focused on the bottom of the funnel. We want to go for top. So we're answering or creating supporting based content based upon the services, answering very particular questions. Most notably, who needs this service? What is this service? How much is this service? Where do I buy this service? Who's the best that offers this service? And then my service versus the top guys right now. And there's multiple reasons why, but you're using other people's names because of entity base. I want to answer everybody in the funnel. So that's going to be the website primarily on page. And then as far as getting the page itself, the secret is right there in front of us, right? Like Google's already showing us what they're rewarding. So if I look at a SERP and I can go and see that on Wayback Machine, not the homepage, but if I see an internal page is 1 to 3 years old, I can get new money in the door. But like if you have a new website and this guy that's there is only 1 to 3 years, I'll get you on the first page within the next 4 months, 3 months. But if I look and those top 3 guys have been there for 10 years, let's invest in ads. So the strategy is based upon population, how many people, what's the niche, who's there, and then who's already in place, right? That's a big piece of it. But we're going to optimize towards the winners. And then as far as off-page is concerned, because you mentioned this as far as links, I still need to be in the link graph. There's lexical graph where I want to have the same types of words. I want to have the right entities. I want to have the words, right? I need to say what I do. But I also need to build links in what is called the link graph I need to have the same authority as the next guy. Now, I'm not going to go out and build hundreds or thousands like it used to be. But if they have category specific links, I'm going to figure out, well, how many links do they have in that category? And it has nothing to do with the content that's on the site. It has to do with what referring domains are pointing to that site. I'm buying category specific links. Usually they might have 1,000 referring. They only have 40 that are category specific. That's what we're going to go build. That'll jump me as far as an off-page strategy. That'll get me in the link graph. Now that I'm in the link graph, now we can match and mirror content. So I match and mirror content, and I have depth of concept because I have my supporting, I have my high commercial intent. I'm in the link graph. Now it's just hurry up and wait. And then that will allow us to then start doing maps.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Does that make
I
sense
feel like
to you or not at all?
Oh, that totally makes sense to me,
Okay,
but
okay.
it might not have for the listener. So I'll try to simplify it. It seems like essentially what you're saying is that you can almost reverse engineer rankings. So you can look at whatever keyword you want to rank on. You can search it up. You can see who's ranking for it, and then see what they're doing. So see what their page looks like, see what links they have, and then do that or better. Is that basically what it is?
A lot better. That's right. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
What tools are you doing to audit websites and their SEO and all that?
Quora, generally. So Quora will be for on-page. See, if I get a new beginner, I'll tell them to go get POP, because that'll do the math and the equations, and it's simple and easy to understand. But when I'm doing law firms in Philly, or wherever, or if I'm doing We Buy Houses, if I'm in harder markets, then we use Quora to do the math. So That's it. And it's doing an analysis based upon the 100 results. And then it's giving us 2 standard deviations above the average for over 200 factors. And then that's the math right there. Boom. So then you just follow the guideline. Okay, I need these many words. I need these entities. I need this LSI. I'm just matching and mirroring. That's it. And then as far as off-page is concerned, they're all very similar, but I really like SEMrush. So I need for backlink analysis, it's going to be SEMrush or SEO Power Suite has a good scraper for links. One of those 2 assets, usually SEMrush.
Got it. Yeah, I like that you use the word math. Everyone is, it's almost like smoke and mirrors and they're a magician and, oh, I'm an SEO and you have no idea what I'm doing and it's so crazy. But it really is just math at the end of the day, right?
Pure math. That's 1,000%. It's all math. He inspired me. He was doing stuff with like mixed up words. So that inspired me at a time I was doing pages. I couldn't mirror what he was doing, but I was doing it with all zeros. So zeros plus the right keyword densities in the right places. And I was able to rank with all zero. SEO in Chicago, I had a bunch of them. New York, I did the same thing. I had videos too showcasing that. So math.
What do you mean, all zeros?
All zeros. So the page, the content was all zeros. But it ranked the number 1 for SEO Chicago. I even made videos I showed it. Because you have to have proof, receipts.
Yeah, of course.
So New York,
interesting.
Chicago.
Okay,
math
no, I
matters.
never saw that. Yeah, no, I know he's really big on testing. You're really big on testing too. Talk to me about, I don't know, maybe an interesting test that you've done recently in the past year or so. Something that you did, maybe that was surprising or just was, maybe would be useful.
Oh, well, yeah, it'd be good for us. But it was figuring out your best average for traffic. So what we were trying to understand was, well, what's the right amount of traffic? How much traffic? How many pages do I have to see? When I'm in a session, do I have to go see 5 pages or can I do 2? And what we figured out was when it's based upon your website and the SERP, because most people will do, I even used to do, 10% of what the overall volume was. But I can't go above my best average within my website of CTR, traffic, and impression. So we did a test on figuring out our best averages to send in for dwell time, visit duration within a session, and then also what's the click-through rate, what's the dwell time, how many pages do we see in a session. We were trying to minimize how much resource we were using to run traffic. Something more useful for you guys is we were trying to figure out if the .ru links were actually harmful. Does Google see a barrier? Because you and I know we ran a test. I guess I'll give you 3. We ran a test where I have a client that's selling hospital beds in Toronto. And we rank all 3 maps, and then we're the top 2 spots in organic, multiple sites. Like we were trying to take over. So I figured out in doing that test and working with that gentleman that, hey, Canadian links help you rank in Canada. Well, my question was, well, will Google ding me if I'm building .ru? But I didn't just go and get the wrong RUs. I went and got category specific, TrustFlow 70s, like the best they had, right? But they were all RU, and we were ranking, it wasn't in Philadelphia, but it was actually in Phoenix for a car accident lawyer in Phoenix. So .RUs work perfectly fine as long as they're category specific. Google does not, yes, you will get a plus for having Canadian-based links or any country specific, but they're not going to ding me if I'm building outside of the USA or wherever you're trying to rank. So that was helpful.
Got it.
Is that good for you or no?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It might be a little too complex for the audience
It's hard to
I know you're
visual.
Yeah. You're so in the weeds with this stuff. It might be difficult to visualize or conceptualize. I wanted to ask you on the topic of links. Do you think they are more important or less important? Maybe in the past 5 or 10 years.
Less important.
Less important. Why?
100%. Absolutely. The only thing that's changed is Google has a better understanding of syntax of a page. You know, it used to be just surrounding text, the title tag, the A tag. Google, in my opinion, has a much better understanding of the category of site, how many outbound links are on that site. Is that site actually about what I'm getting a link from? They're better at understanding who has these links, what are the link graphs, and should this person be getting this link? I think they're better at understanding if I'm a pest control site, I need this type of link, right? It's not a game of referring domains anymore. It's a game of authoritativeness, but also relevance. Relevance matters a lot more than overall amount. and that's the biggest change. But it's not as important. Like I'm finding
Okay.
it used to be I could create a page and blast it with links, and I would rank, and I could do crap on page, right? Not anymore.
Yeah, you've mentioned social several times, and I've interviewed a lot of people in local SEO. Very few people mention socials. So, what role do socials play?
Multiple roles. Real brands. Think about all the brands and the winners that are out there. They're found in other places that will convey that that's the expert in whichever industry. If I'm searching for, say, you for pest control, I guarantee you if I go and look up your Facebook page, it will say people are talking about your name related to pest control, right? And that's just Facebook, and that's just one thing that's visual. In my opinion, I think they have tabs on everything. Google, of course they do. So I do believe that they're putting more emphasis on true authority. Like you said, you wrote books. Genius.
Yeah.
Right? Like you want to be in multiple vectors. You should really have audio, video, image, not just text anymore. But social plays a massive part. I can get people to say that I'm the expert to back up. And when we go out and we're going to do, say, We Buy Houses, one of the first strategies that we did was we created a main Facebook page, and then we had our business pages for every county, and then we created them for cities. That was just Facebook. Then we went into X. We were doing the communities based upon each of the locations that we wanted. Then we did Reddit. We were building little subreddits based upon, and they were working together. They play a part. They play a massive part, my friend. You'll know which one is most important to your industry and your niche by searching for the true authority within your location and your service type and seeing what shows up underneath their brand. If I go look up Orkin in your main city where you want to get money in, and I scroll down the Orkin, what shows up in their row? Their sort order. And then that'll tell you what's important. That's how I would look at it.
Okay.
What's
cool.
the sort order?
Yeah. Also, for people that don't know, you mentioned...
We know that Google's similarity based, right? We know they're going to multi-vectoral retrieval. Multiple vectors means that they're analyzing and looking at text, lexical. They're looking at imagery. They're looking at video, and they're looking at audio. So in order for you to be a true winner, it's not only based upon the link graph anymore and the text that you have, but what about all the other vectors? And they all work together. Google can understand it all now.
Yeah. And
That's what I
that
think.
directly applies to socials, too, of showing up in all the different places and all the different ways.
1,000,000%. Like, that's the short-term win, too. I see guys right now, like, there's a little bit of a rush. See, people are getting an edge doing these listicles on authoritative resource. But the problem is in 30 days, that's going to change. So it's good for the guy that's flipping and making the money, and they think, oh, I got to get these group post lists. I have to get on I have to pay all this money. Like, if you go look up Jeff Bezos, how do they know that that's Jeff Bezos? How do they know that he works here? How do they know this? How do they know that? Well, he's listed on multiple libraries of Congress. He's listed in all these places. He has files that are created that says that he's the true authority, and that's who he is. So, like, I think you're on the right track, but people don't see that yet.
Always talk about it. You make all kinds of content about that and put that all across the web in all kinds of different ways. It sounds so simple. I know it sounds so simple to you and me, but most people just don't think about it like that.
And that's what you're trying to do. Like your HVAC guys or your plumber guys, writing Google Books is free. Doing that book, that was easy for you.
Yeah.
That's easy. Easy. And now you're the authority. Like, what do you think Google's going to reward? This Jerkovsky that has links from Forbes, right? And a listicle? Or the guy that has 10 books on HVAC or pest control? In the short term, yeah, Forbes boy. But in the long term, especially as the AI start picking everything up, this guy's going to win. It's just time.
How does ranking and showing up there differ from Google?
Not at all. Similarity based. It's all similarity based retrieval. There is no difference. In my opinion, I think just Google is ahead of everyone else. And when they release multi-vectoral retrieval, there will actually be ahead of everyone else. It's only a matter of time. And when you look at ChatGPT, what are they getting? 500 million hits a month? That's laughable. What's YouTube, the second biggest search engine? Just in US is doing what? 2 billion? Just YouTube. And that's only USA. It's laughable to think that that's even has a chance. But everybody, it's dwelled into the mind. Google, to search. It's going to be so easy for them to switch that back on. They're already feeding it to us with the overviews. And on top of that, Google's traffic has not plateaued, but ChatGPT, go check, they have. Nothing has changed. It's similarity-based retrieval, and Google's doing it the best, and it's only a matter of time before they just continue to steamroll everyone.
And very few people will say that. Everyone, again, all the
They don't.
SEO people, it's so annoying. They're like, "Oh, everything has changed. There's so many things that are different. We're building the website all new. We're doing all this new stuff." It's like, it's actually more or less the same. If you're doing the right stuff to show up on Google, you're gonna show up on ChatGPT and all these other places.
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Let them chase that. See, they want to make it look new or say it new because people they always want what's new and what's next.
Yeah.
They see there's a way to sell somebody that doesn't know any better, but they'll never get us. Again, I think let them spin their wheels, let them get however they're prefacing to sell shiny object, let them do that, let them spin their wheels. Meanwhile, we'll be pumping ads, supporting our content, answering queries that actually matter, creating our videos, creating images, doing our PDFs, pumping out, creating books or little mini booklets, doing our email marketing, doing our SMS campaigns. Let them spin their wheels and spend all kinds of money on stuff they don't understand. Meanwhile, we'll just be slurping it up.
I wanted to dive a little bit more back into links and
Sure.
give people something to use here. For an average local business, what links should they acquire? I mean, do they have to look at their competitors, or are there some simple ones that they should go and acquire right away?
This could change tomorrow, right? I still think that it's an absolutely phenomenal idea to go and get not general, but category specific, what is called a directory or a citation. So it used to be go and get as many as possible, general based. And that can be okay if you're a lawyer and everyone else has those. But when you're niched down, I want category specific or location specific citations and directories. Excuse me, I was drinking energy drinks. The next thing I want to make sure that I have is what is called programmatic citations, aka aggregators. If you have anyone in the UK or anywhere else, they don't do this. But I want to go and get listed on the main aggregators, citations, directories, and then I want to issue out what is called a press release. I want to create a press release based upon my brand, who I am, what I do, and where I offer my service, which will then be repeated on my site and in my GBP profile and upon all my socials.
Okay.
But those socials are your links too, remember.
That socials are citations. Facebook is clear as day, that's a citation, but all these other places too, X, YouTube, you should have them all set up. What you said was a great way to establish your entity, which is getting all those set up.
What category are they in? And what are those placements? Because I assure you could go buy them. And that's what I would go and acquire next. After the PRs, after citations, after directories and aggregators, I want category specific, the best I can afford. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So super relevant links, and then
If I'm seeing that the most authoritative sources, and I want to get into the link graph, and they have those types, but I don't have 10 G's a link, you can still create open redirect links, and 301 still work.
interesting. I've never heard that, but that's why I love listening to you, because you've always got these super unique strategies.
Cool.
Well, I want to jump back to one other thing you said, because I'm sure people want to hear more about this. So you said, I forget exactly the term, but you said essentially with Google Business Profiles, with service businesses, you will drop lures. And I believe you're referring to setting up several locations. Talk to me about the strategy there. What works there? What should people be doing?
And no, when I talk about stuff, I've been doing this a long time. For most people, I'm telling you we're trying to scale and generate leads. I sell leads in most instances other than the agency stuff, like for the real estate space. So these types of strategies are definitely against the guidelines. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not by any stretch of the imagination saying you guys should go out there and do this, but if you want to, the strategy is relatively simple. So when we're talking about maps, it's all based upon proximity, right? There's proximity, there's relevance, there's prominence, right? So basically authority and how close are you? So how long have you been around? And then how close are you to the searcher? Well, what trumps everything? Being close to the searcher. So when you're going into these smaller areas, what we'll do is if you go to Google Maps and you type in a city, not a city, a town, Google will outline it in red. What we'll do is we'll identify the red area and we will drop what is called a service area business, north, east, south, and west. And what we've found is that no matter what, we'll be able to hit the map pack because proximity based trumps all other factors. So if they're doing a search and they're in that Northeast, if they're in that quadrant, they're going to see our listing. And service-based businesses or even unverified listings, even if your competitor tells on you, I can still leave my reviews. Helpful hint when you're doing this. So you'll get worried about suspensions or like Google will suspend you or whack you. If you get your service area business suspended, don't touch it. Let it sit. Google will leave it on soft suspend until you interact with the profile. So it'll still be visible. And here's what's even better. When it's suspended and it's still visible, I can still get reviews on it.
Huh.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I knew that.
Well, I'm glad. That's why. I didn't get here because of my looks. Yep.
Interesting. And then with the actual location, are you getting an office or do you have a way around that?
Again, this is outside the guidelines. This is for educational purposes, but we just choose an area. So when you're looking at the map, you have to identify there's gray and there's orange when you go to Google Maps. Gray is going to be residential area or road, right? That's residential. Orange means commercial. So generally we're looking for orange areas, but when we're in these smaller towns and we're trying to take over, it's hard to find orange. So what we have found, man, Google's looking at longitude and latitude. So have you ever been on the map and it will show you the pin? It'll be in the middle of the street. Have you ever seen that? Mm-hmm. That guys that look like us do that. See, because I don't want to. The last thing I want to do is go on someone's home. That's a violation. Now I might use your address and put it in the street though. And what we started doing for the lawyers is if we go and we snatch someone's house, we'll blur the house. Because the probability of someone actually showing up to a blurred location is highly unlikely. We're trying to get leads. We're trying to earn, right? So, and if we're taking whatever we want.
Dang. No, I've never heard that strategy. I've heard a lot of people say different things of like you can maybe ask a friend in the area who owns like a brick and mortar business and you get a tiny closet in the back of their place.
But not scalable. Right? It's scale. Like, yeah. We're flipping leads. You know, so like we need leads. You know, if I'm getting $5 to $20 a raw, I need them fast, as many as I could possibly get. So like the last thing I want to do is like doing Craigslist ads and all this crap. Like I don't have time for that. Plus, at any minute, every 90 days, Google does a sweep. White hat warriors out here going and telling on people, messing up people's dollars, right? So you got people seeking you out to destroy your business. You got competitors trying to destroy you. Google's trying to destroy you. And then hopefully I don't destroy myself and make a mistake. Right?
As we start to wrap up here, Chris, the last topic I wanted to cover was generally the future of search. And we've kind of already talked about this, but I want to hear your thoughts. Where are things going in the next few years?
It can't just be about, don't just put all of your eggs in one basket. To build a true brand, it takes 10 years. We saw how long it took Google to come to light. So I think we have plenty of time. Everything's going to stay the same, right? There'll be new stuff coming in and out. Ads might change. The visibility will change. There'll be new AI overviews and people also asking all this crap. But I think just be as visible as you possibly can. Keep moving forward. I don't think much is going to change, to be honest.
Like we've been talking about, it's more so the general principles and like understanding what the algorithms want, which is people that are trustworthy, people that are authoritative. That's really what it's about, those same principles. Like it might be AI overviews or AI mode, which I want to ask about that too. Are you doing anything with AI mode or do you have any thoughts there?
Oh, that was a great test. Absolutely. So AI overviews, one of the tests that we did was we found that only a certain select few will have site links. So what we did is I didn't go, Brian Dean on him with 4 million analyses, but he didn't point out the key thing. In fact, I think he left it out. And the key thing that I found, we didn't analyze that many, but within verticals like law, real estate, chiropractor, dentist, where we have clients or we're trying to generate leads, what we found is blended SERPs will generally be the overviews that actually have site links. We're looking to see, well, which ones actually have site links? And that's the content that we generate. So we found that most of the time, though, it's going to be the best ofs, the top lists. Is this blank? How much does this cost? Those types of questions.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
And
Yep.
also, I want to be clear on this. You're kind of mentioning it here, and you were going pretty hard on it at the beginning of the podcast, which was you actually think you should focus on top of funnel content. Can you explain why that is? Is that for brand or to get people from the top and then they just naturally go to the bottom?
Bottom of the funnel is people ready to buy now, and I want that. That's high to me. That's your high commercial intent. That's pest control plus city, high commercial, right?
Yeah.
But intent is also another way of saying people think differently. This is why you want to put on your webpage for higher conversions. You don't just put an email form. Yes, we know that converts the most because most people think that way, right? But we also want a live agent. We also want a click button. We also want to show the phone number. We also want email. Multiple intent types is multiple ways of thinking. So some people, they think different. So some people are ready to buy right now. Those are people in the mind of, hey, I want to go and buy right now. Who's the best? But then people want to answer queries and they want to read. They want to understand, well, what is the best? What's the pesticides? What's this? What's eco-friendly, right? They think different. So any type of person that's coming into a particular market, I have your answer.
So we'll start to wrap up here, Chris. Last question I've got for you is, what is your message to the local business owners or local marketers out there? What do you want to tell them? What do you think they need to know?
You know, everybody wants to do the parasites and build the links and do the chase the AI and do, right? It's the boring consistency is what reaches success every time. Like every short, like I'm the hack, you know, black hat master, trust me. If there's a fast buck out there, I've tried it. But I guarantee you every single time it was either short-lived or I lost that money. What has always reigned true is being consistent over time, and being consistent over time is how you become an authority. As long as you can stay patient enough and do what's correct without any mistakes long enough, you will reach success. And we both know, or everybody that sees this will know what the right thing is. It's just they get bored, right? They don't have the time, or they're like, or it's not working. It's not working. Your brain works faster than Google. So consistency over time is how you become the authority, and be patient. That's it.